the
Warrants?
warrants, yes.
I'll move that we accept the minutes of June 13th and warrants 26 and 26P.
And I will second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, moving on, recognition of visitors. Hello, everybody. Okay, highway, Lee, come on up.
Quick.
Yep, moving right along.
Alright.
Fooling around tonight. Okay, you all done?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I did get in contact with the person doing mowing. He's planning on starting July 9th, which is a couple weeks later than he wanted to because grafting needed to be done first.
Daylilies don't come out yet though, do they?
Right, he said it would give him another couple weeks to grow.
Okay.
We ended up finishing our crushing. We cut some dangerous trees along Middle Road, some that were dying, leaning, a couple that were real close to the road. And for the contract services, we used A.S. Clark to take the ledge back on the corner down there. We tried to get the ledge back 3 feet, gives water a place to go.
Nice job.
And
Very
snow,
Right.
so it won't bounce back into the road.
Right. I like the rumble strip that you put in.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. And we figured we'd do it before it got paved instead of after. Right now we're working on Sunset Lake Road, doing under drain, and we also did buy a couple rolls of road fabric, trying to take care of the mud spots up there that were there this last spring. It's just a very hard road to get to in the spring because we have to go through someone else's town or it's so far on their roads. We're trying to get the farthest roads apart. Friday we have a 3-foot culvert to put in on Fish Road. We have them a sign out notifying them that it'll be closed for 3 hours on Friday. The budget, that turned out all right. To go along with that, we did get another bill in from Nortrax also. I had talked to Steve about it a little bit, but the bill I hadn't shown him, but it's actually that we have to use their oil in the backhoe or motor oil. While it's under warranty, we can't get it through Snell's, so we did get a drum. And Lori did say that we could pay for that out of this year's if we wanted to. It was on 9/18/35. Just for one. I know, it's crazy.
How much was it, Lee?
9/18/35. And also to go along with the budget, having the surplus of, it'll be just under $8,000 or $8,000. I was wondering about paying our crushing for more of our crushing out of last year's budget instead of waiting and paying for it out of this year's. The reason is that when we move into the new pit, we want to do more crushing, and by doing this, we won't have to raise the crushing line because it will already be paid for or part of it. It's just making it so the following budget will be able to not necessarily be level funding, but as far as crushing, it'll be able to be level funded. The reasons, that we ended up doing all right this year, we ended up doing a lot of the work on the Stickenburg Road project ourselves. The FEMA work, we did that ourselves. If you have any questions on that, see.
So do you want to get a motion to pay that oil?
Yeah, I could start with that one. I'll move that we pay the $918.35 for the John Deere oil this year.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I'll move one more thing.
Go ahead.
I've been talking with Lee about the crushing, and I think it's a good idea. They've already done the crushing that we're paying for, and when I talked to Lori today, we actually had $9,300 surplus.
Before the 9.
Before the 900, right, yeah. So I was thinking we should pay some of this crushing bill like Lee's asking, and originally I was thinking $8,000 of it, but that would make us $8,900, it'd still leave us a small. I'll move that we pay $8,000 of the crushing that's already been done in this fiscal year.
What's our treasurer think of that?
I think it's a great idea.
All right, then I'll second that.
Wow.
Whoa.
The way you hold this down, huh?
Well, the crushing's already been done.
Right.
It's just a matter if we pay it now or pay it in
Right.
2 weeks.
Right.
And it's definitely gonna help out the budget
For
the
next year,
Right,
exactly.
right.
We want to crush in the new pits.
Okay. Discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
How do you like the new backhoe?
Yep, and that was my last thing. The backhoe is in, and it's a great machine. Yep, it's working good. Like I say, we've been using it every day up on the lake road, doing under drain, and I think it's going to work out really good. Really good. It's a good machine.
Did you see this letter, Lee, about Hague Road?
That's Fantini's.
Yes.
Yes. I did meet with him probably a month and a half ago. We went over the situation. What it is it's a driveway culvert, and the inlet is 5 feet away from his driveway. The problem is when he has too many people at his house and they park on the road, you know, it's not a nice ditch line up the road as far as, or shoulder there. But I was planning on meeting him again. When we replaced the culvert, it is a little bit deeper than, you know, what we put them in now. But it's just, it's like a 40-foot culvert, driveway culvert, and it goes under 2 driveways. It's in good shape. We just can't replace it for the sake of, it's definitely not a hazard to the road, and it's definitely not a hazard to his driveway. It's just a matter of if he has extra people who are, you know, walking around out there after yeah, I don't mind meeting again with him and seeing if we can do something else. I did have Art work on it some to get it better, and then this email showed up.
He's asking for, it sounds like he's asking for stakes and stuff to be hammered.
Yeah, and they're already put in there. I drove up here.
Oh, there are
the other day.
stakes already there?
Yeah.
Where I'm trying to place where his place
right
is.
above Nielsen's. It's the driveway culvert goes under Nielsen's. It's the second to third. What is it now? 1, 2, 3, fourth one on the left,
Oh,
just before Paul Hoax.
The white, it's a white
Yeah.
tape.
Yeah,
okay,
just
yeah.
just
Familiar
before
with that
Paul
septic
Hoax.
system?
and-
Yeah. Yeah, just beyond Cindy's.
Yeah, it goes Cindy's, Nielsen's, and
Oh, okay.
and then
And then
Fantini's.
Fantini, okay.
Yeah. And you know, it was the first time it was really misleading, but he did clarify it when he got over there. You know, that somebody fell off and broke their leg or whatever.
Mhm.
Then he says, "Oh well, that was at my old house at somewhere else." And I'm like, "Okay, yep." Yeah, there's a lot of culverts because we don't have actual risers on them. You know, with grates on them. A lot of culverts that people have to be aware of, but we would change it. When we change it, we would be moving it back further. It's just a matter of for doing it. I don't think it's
When you say back further, you mean
back away from the road a little further.
okay, into his driveway further.
Well, yes, into his driveway further, And it would be about the same distance from the edge of his driveway, because I think that distance is fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a matter of getting it away from the road,
Mhm.
a little further. But I don't mind meeting with him again and going over it with him.
Yeah, good, great.
Yeah.
All right, anything else?
I think that's it.
I have some questions for Lee when he's ready. Just traffic questions, I guess. I had somebody call the other day, wanted us to look at the junction of Schoolhouse Road, East-West Road, and right across from Larry Lynch's. Their concern is when you come across East-West Road and stop for Schoolhouse Road, and you want to go left, that those arborvitaes that were put in at the house have grown enough now so they can't see up the road.
Okay.
And they want to know if there's anything
Right on the inside corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely something. If they are blocking, they're definitely in the right of way. And
So is that something you check and follow up on?
yeah, I can look at them.
Okay.
I know they've always been close.
Yeah.
So it's
Apparently.
there's definitely a difference. Everyone can look at it and kind of they're right on the fine line. They
Yeah.
should never have been put there in the beginning.
They felt
So
now
it
they've
was-
grown enough so they can't see
Yeah,
up the hill
right.
in a car. Okay.
Yep.
That was one thing. The other thing was Scott Farm at the CSA. Somebody stopped me today. We were over in Black Mountain working, and they were concerned that there was 5 cars parked in the road at the CSA. And so I talked to Charlotte, and she said because it was agriculture, there wasn't much she could do. She suggested I talk to you if you felt they were a road hazard, and we should ask Elizabeth to pull up in and off the road. And so I actually ran over and looked, and there was 5 cars, and I guess if you met somebody right there, it would be bad. But,
Yeah.
she pawned it off on you.
Yeah, and we get that. There's quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
Um,
I think if
And it-
Elizabeth either just pulled down into the orchard or up into her.
Yeah, I think she.
And the lady that stopped me today was really concerned because apparently last summer there was a lot of cars in the road some days.
I think they sometimes have,
Must be their pickup day for
Yeah.
vegetables or something.
Yeah.
I just, if we could head it off before it turned into a.
mm-hmm.
yeah. Coming
I
down.
don't know if there's. Yeah, I don't know if they would be allowed to pull down in at the that gate, you know, there,
Yeah,
or
the orchard, or if they can.
There
go
is room to
into
pull
her-
a
Oh,
few
yeah,
cars
they-
up into the
yeah, they
CSA,
can.
but it's pretty steep.
yeah, and they might bottom out
Yeah,
there.
I know I
Um,
fixed that at one point so they could get in and out, but,
Yes.
well,
Yeah, that is a thing throughout town. Even the post office, we're dealing with that quite a bit. One person is complaining that we get flower pots and boards, you know, too close to the road, and I don't even know how you word it, but I try to tactfully not. You know, it is a. I definitely don't think people should park in the road, but it's, you know, for short term. You know, it's the overnight parking where tenants, they don't have enough spots, or party goers where.
no, maybe if you could just visit with Elizabeth.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind.
I'm just
Would you
afraid
like
once
to try to? Would you like to try to get them to park up in the?
I don't know what the
Yeah.
solution is.
Yeah, that's. I don't know if there's a great one there, but.
I just said I would follow up
Yep.
with, and I checked with Charlotte, and Charlotte really, because it was agriculture, felt that I
Right,
should.
right.
Yeah.
If they're parked on the road, do they turn around there, or do they?
All I did was when this lady stopped me, where we were working, I jumped in the truck, went over and looked, and there was 5 cars there.
Yeah.
And one car could easily get through, but you wouldn't want to met anybody. But.
Right, right, and it depends who's coming down the road.
Yeah, right, that's true.
That's kind of going pretty fast.
Okay.
I think Elizabeth would be reasonable too.
Yeah. Yeah, I've talked with her a few times, but yes, I can mention that to her and see
Okay.
if there's any way they can pull
Just
up
keep
into
a
the
heads up.
field, or even there's that second entrance that isn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
If if they can maybe do something up there, but,
Okay,
Yep.
duly noted.
yep, I'll look at those 2 spots.
Anything else for him, Steve?
No, thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You're all set.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Lee.
Good night.
Remember what time it is though, so you don't have to go home and go to bed.
Right, yeah, I know.
All right, moving right along. Covered Bridge wing wall project. Oh, Zeke, that's all about you.
I guess I want to say this.
The only news is we had to send a letter to Wendy Pelletier saying that the LaRock bid was non-responsive and we were following Stephen's advice and rejecting the other 2 bids, just to clear the way so that the rebidding was legal. So, and the bids, the advertisements went out last week in the Reformer, and they're on the town website, so they're all in the right places, in the right times, and we should be able to, if we receive any bids, we should be able to open them on, I think it's July 11th.
11th,
Yeah, so we should be all set. And I guess at the meeting on Monday in Brattleboro about the I-91 bridge, I did speak with one of the engineers about the east side of the covered bridge, that intersection, and how we felt it was a real safety concern if they're going to be detouring traffic, or if Route 30 is going to be closed at the bridge for any substantial time, that we would like to see that worked on and improved. And we were hard pressed. We were using up the reserve fund we have for the bridge, and we would need some special help from our friends in Montpelier. And he was prepared to, he understood there would be expenses involved, collateral damage around this bridge rebuilding. And he's going to come to one of our meetings sometime in the near future and discuss this further. And discuss, Upper Dummerston Road and the impacts on Dummerston during this bridge project that's going to happen.
Did you talk to him about the covered bridge that we're trying to work on now, trying to do it while we're working on the covered bridge, or is he just looking at when the 91 bridge?
When the 91 bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his project, so that could be where he'd be able to get money.
All right.
So that's all I have on the covered bridge.
All right. Well, that was a quick covered bridge thing tonight. About the Renault gravel pit, Steve.
Things are moving along. I know that I wasn't able to make the meeting last week, Wednesday, Thursday. I think Bill went in my place. Represented us well. I know that Corey has been in touch with Steve and Jeff at Poplar Commons. I know that the campground has asked for the noise study to be postponed for 10 days or so because they're so busy right there now with the 4th of July weekend. And I don't know where that stands, other than I know that they've asked for that to be delayed. So other than that, I think things are moving along. I know they're trying to, Corey particularly is working with Poplar Commons and trying to resolve anything that he can.
Very good. All right. Anything else on the covered bridge? Gravel pit? All right. Move right along. Correspondence for information. Anybody have anything they want to talk about there?
No.
Okay. Correspondence, discussion, action.
Yeah, that was empty, wasn't it?
No, wasn't that nice?
Yeah.
All right. Unfinished business. Special events, we're still going to just send that down the road.
Yeah, actually, Tom and I have been working on that. We have a preliminary proposal. I just haven't written it up and gotten it back to Tom for him to verify it. But we met on it and worked on it, and basically have streamlined it even a little bit more than it was. So I hope by next meeting I'll have that, so you can see it.
Did you and Bill work on the ancient roads at all?
No, other than I talked with Chet Wendell, because I think Lori had mentioned, and Chet was amazed that you remembered that he'd offered to help. He saw it on our report, the TV report, and so I did check with him to make sure he was still willing to help, and he was.
Okay.
And Lori photostated the information for me tonight to give him, and he's, other than that, that's all we've done.
All right. So let's go to new business. Appointment of DRB alternate.
I move we appoint Steve Girzak
Yeah, very good.
to the, for the DRB.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
Well, he seemed like a good candidate.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Are you calling?
Yes, I'll give them a call, Lori.
Thank you.
I won't tell you next week.
Yeah.
Okay, review of applications for Assistant Emergency Management Director.
Did we get any other applications other than Larry being interested
No,
still?
no,
No?
we did not.
Larry's still interested in continuing
Right.
serving, isn't he, or not?
Yes, but I think we should probably take this as a personnel matter into
Okay.
executive session, so let's skip down over
Okay.
that.
Okay. Window County Humane.
Did everybody see that?
Yes.
They did send over the revised one.
Oh, they did,
and that's
okay.
in the
All right.
packet.
Okay, so can I get a motion?
I'll move that we sign the 2003 contract with the Wyndham County Humane Society.
2013.
2013, yeah, that's it.
2003.
Oh, it's 2000.
I'll second the 2013.
Okay. I'll accept it as a friend.
Discussion? Okay, where is it? Just
The
trying.
second paragraph right here.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Set date and time for special meeting to set the FY 2013 tax rate.
We should have the information back from the state early next week. So with the holiday, Pam and I were hoping that you could meet on the 5th,
Yeah,
the day after the 4th.
really. The day before the 6th. Is that, everybody, can everybody do
Yes.
that? I mean, it's only, what, 2-minute meeting?
3 minutes, something like
Yeah. Wow, yeah.
that. Depends who's here.
Tom, are you gonna be here?
Actually, he won't be here.
Oh, okay.
2-minute meeting. All right, so let's say we'll do that on the 5th. Anybody have a time they'd like to do it at?
6 o'clock's good. I mean, unless you want to do it, can we do it during the day? Or?
How about 3? You wanna do it at 3? 3 o'clock work for you?
See?
Sure.
I mean, if it doesn't, just,
Sure,
yeah.
I'll just call it a coffee break.
Right. All right, 3 o'clock next Thursday.
Thank you.
Okay, I did see in the packet, did anybody see,
Ah, right.
the letters?
Yes.
I mean, the
Minutes.
minutes from the Conservation Commission?
Yes.
I don't know if they were as disturbing to you or as they were to me, or whether they were just written and not thought out when they were written.
I think on the one, the scenic road one, I had spoken with Bill Schmidt about that, or we talked about that, and so I think that one was just the person taking the minutes.
So-
I don't think they think they can
So he's
designate scenic roads.
okay, he's aware of the
I think they
process?
evaluated Kipling Road and thought it fit the criteria. But Bill Schmidt, because he's one of the ones that
Wrote the,
wrote it, knows that we're supposed to go through the whole town
I was gonna say, all the roads
Yeah.
are supposed to be
Yeah.
done before we start committing
and
to.
cherry picking, yeah.
Right, so I really don't like the fact that we're already cherry picking, right off the top without going through all the roads, or even saying that we're thinking of designating certain roads. Let's do the process. If they're gonna do the process, let's do the process and go from there. But you talked to Bill? And-
Right. So so I wasn't as worried about that one.
Okay.
The other one,
The other one, I think I'll call Ed
yeah,
again.
good.
And, because they're saying the Historical Society though, and he's not on the Historical Society. But they're the ones that are gonna discuss with the state on the management of it? Is what it,
It'd be good to call, I think, and get, just in case that's another one of the
Right.
minutes being.
yeah, I'll give Ed a call and.
We should send Lori to their meetings so we get the minutes, done.
I thought you talked with Ed once already to make sure that he's aware that no commitments are made or.
Right, I did,
Okay.
and he assured me of that, so that's why I'll call him, because I'm sure that this is probably another one of those things where something was written that wasn't actually
Yeah,
said. So,
that'd
Well-
be good.
so any other new business, anybody?
Yeah, I have one other thing. I had spoke with you about visiting with the sheriff, Keith, about the possibility of maybe setting up some type of a program for next year, in addition to what we contracted with him for. So I did meet with him. We had a really good discussion about some different things he could do, and I was talking about prepaying him because our general fund has a little bit of a surplus.
Doesn't have as much of one anymore.
Okay, where are we at? What is it now?
Subtract 3,000 from that because for the second half of the HSA payments for the highway crew, for the health insurance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That may make my idea, because we were looking for about $3,000 for another program. We did talk about the possibility of booking some money to set aside for like special kind of things, like, I don't mean to imply that we're gonna supply coverage for the Apple Pie Festival, but if there was something in town where we maybe wanted some coverage. We were actually talking about a program where there was much more high visibility of the sheriff's department in town and particularly on some of the less traveled roads, was what Keith and I were trying to work on, but I don't know if a smaller dollar amount would give us enough coverage to help or not. I'd like to see a little bit more coverage around town because of thefts and it seems like things have been picking up a little bit, and it would give us an opportunity to get a little more coverage, but his feeling was rather than he and I write a program right now, maybe later on something would come up. So we were talking about $3,000, but I wonder if we could even try $1,000 if it was one incident or two that we could get some extra help on. I prefer to see it done in a way where we get more coverage a little further back. I think East-West Road and Middle Road gets a lot of coverage, Route 30, Route 5, but I wonder sometimes Sunset Lake Road area.
Well, I think that, I wasn't up there talking to him, but I think all we have to do is ask him.
Yeah.
And he'll
Yeah.
cover those areas and take off, you'll put the hours there,
Yeah.
which isn't a bad thing to, to say, is let's take
Yeah.
off a few hours here, on
I don't know if you
Schoolhouse
wanna
Road.
lose too much coverage on your main road, though.
Well, Schoolhouse Road, we could lose a little coverage there during the summer, no
Yeah.
school kids.
The other thing too, I'm thinking of it is this child that hides in the closet kind of deal. Nobody wanted to ask him about how we're billed our hours, and we aren't ever billed if he's on his way to Putney. We're not ever any billed anymore for the time they go through Dummerston. If they decide to, take out Bunker Road or whatever, we aren't invoiced for that time. So I know that in the past we were, and that was a concern, and he was very interested in doing away with that perception. So, for one thing, we cleared that up. But I still would like to see us work on a little more program where we could get a little bit more coverage than our base contract, but I don't know how you guys feel, so.
My inclination is to go with what we've got now, ask him to, expand the coverage, come
Yeah.
back a couple times. And then in the, in our budget season, try to have an idea of what we want to do and come up with a new game plan.
Last year they didn't. Last year it was budgeted for $9,600 and we were only billed for $72.97.
Yeah.
So they didn't even use
Fulfill
all
the
of
contract,
Yeah.
and that's why we were trying to come up with a separate program that had a measurable, measurable goal. But it's all right, I'll keep working with him. He and I had decided that we try to keep in a little better communications, and so I would like to represent the select board to the sheriff's department like I do for the state police, and
Yeah.
feel free to
Fine with me.
talk with him and pass the information on, okay.
Yeah. To go along with that, is there possible, if you're thinking of Sunset Lake Road, for instance, just having them go up there and for 4 hours, take a write down what people are going. Are we worried about speed, or are we worried about just being visible?
I think the visibility is what Keith and I were talking about,
Oh,
but
all
certainly we can ask them to go over there and do some
And then
feedback,
just
yeah.
let you know,
Yeah,
how
Yeah.
things are going.
yeah, I'm sure that we could ask them to go there anyway, Lee, but,
Yep.
I think our goal, you know about the facts that are
Yeah,
going around as well as I do, and, so I think that was what we were trying to deter
Okay.
by having just some presence and not parked waiting for a speeder, but,
Yep.
but if you'd like us to.
Oh no, I'm all set.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
So, I would like, if I could get a motion to go into executive session for personnel.
Yeah, okay, I'll move it going through the executive session.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that, yeah.
Okay. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.